Member from Prince Edward Hastings.
Thanks very much, Speaker. It's to the Minister of Finance this morning. Minister, you've done some creative accounting with your government's economic record this week in the House, but here's a number that you can't run away from. It's 16.5. 16.5% of Ontarians under 25 are out of work. That's roughly 1 in every 6 in the province of Ontario. It's almost 3 points higher than the national average. I talk to parents in Prince Edward Hastings and across the province all the time whose children are going out to the oil sands or wherever they can get a job, and it's usually not here in Ontario. Minister, with 1 in 6 young people in Ontario desperate for a job, why did your government bring in a budget that makes it harder to do business in the province of Ontario?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, youth unemployment here in Ontario, across Canada, indeed throughout the Western world, is always a challenge. It has been. The numbers are too high, Mr. Speaker. That's why in this budget we increase funding for youth employment, summer jobs, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, I think that's why we need to pass the budget, Mr. Speaker. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, I remind the member opposite of 42% of new jobs created in Canada have been created here in Ontario. There remains much to be done, Mr. Speaker. We have taken appropriate steps to help with that. By the way, we're very proud of our investments in education, which you and your party have voted against. A better education, higher graduation rates, more post-secondary achievement. Those are the important determinants of employment for young people, Mr. Speaker. That member and his party have tried to block every one of those important initiatives.
Supplementary.
Speaker, it's great to have an educated workforce, but you need the jobs, and we need a Minister of Finance who can create the environment in the province of Ontario so that 1 out of 6 isn't going without a job. The fact is, Minister, you're responsible for Ontario's youth unemployment being roughly twice that of Alberta and Saskatchewan, 6 points higher than youth unemployment in the province of British Columbia. The Ontario of opportunity that I moved to 20 years ago and that flourished in the 90s has become the Ontario of mediocrity because of your tenure as the Minister of Finance. Minister, why is it acceptable to you that Ontario's youth unemployment is twice that of the Western provinces?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, this summer, 100,000 students will find work through our summer jobs strategy, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, there is no doubt that more needs to be done. But what we know, Mr. Speaker, is those important investments in education, whether it is in skills training through our community colleges, through more apprenticeship programs, Mr. Speaker, through higher graduation rates, Mr. Speaker, through higher levels of post-secondary attainment, those are the determinants of long-term growth and short-term jobs for our young people. There remains much to be done. We remain committed to these important concepts. The young people of Ontario know that they have a friend in this government.
Thank you. Question.